I'm Ben Hooper, and this is your UPI Alt News Minute for Monday, February 16th, 2026. University of Maryland researchers announced they have designed smart underwear to track and measure flatulence, and they are seeking volunteers to wear them. Brantley Hall, an assistant professor in the Department of Cell Biology and Molecular Genetics, led a team of scientists in creating the small device that snaps into a wearer's underwear and uses electrochemical sensors to track how often they cut the cheese. Hall said the device specifically records releases of hydrogen, one of the main gases in farts. He likened the device to a continuous glucose monitor, but for intestinal gas. An initial study using smart underwear found healthy adults produced flatus, that is, passed gas, an average of 32 times a day, with individual variations reaching as much as 59 or as low as 4. Hall said doctors previously thought the average to be around 14, a much smaller number he attributed to the difficulties involved in intrusive measuring procedures and reliance on self-reporting without the use of smart underwear. The research team is now working on a so-called Human Flatus Atlas to measure gas releases across hundreds of patients using smart underwear. The project will develop a baseline for normal adult flatulence patterns. Hall said, "We don't actually know what normal flatus production looks like. Without that baseline, it's hard to tell when someone's gas production is truly excessive." The team is now seeking participants who fall into 3 categories developed from the earlier research: Zen digesters, those who consume high-fiber diets yet only rarely pass gas; hydrogen hyperproducers, which Hall described as, simply put, people who fart a lot; and normal people, those whose wind-breaking patterns fall between the other 2 categories. Hall said, "The Human Flatus Atlas will establish objective baselines for gut microbial fermentation, which is essential groundwork for evaluating how dietary, probiotic, or prebiotic interventions change microbiome activity." Moving on from a bodily function to an unexpected obstruction, an Amazon delivery van took a wrong turn while following GPS directions and ended up stuck on mudflats used as a shooting range by Britain's Ministry of Defense. HM Coast Guard Southend-on-Sea said that crews responded Sunday morning to the Broomway, a 600-year-old, 6-mile walking path out into the Thames estuary. An Amazon driver had been trying to get to Foulness Island and followed GPS directions that led it to the Broomway in Great Wakering, Essex. The van quickly became stuck in the mud. The Coast Guard said, "The Broomway route is not for vehicles and should only be walked on with a guide who knows the mud flats. It is an extremely dangerous area and is on Ministry of Defense property, only free to access when the firing ranges are not active and the barrier is open." The delivery driver was able to exit the van and report the incident to Amazon. The van was safely removed from the scene on Sunday. For these stories and more national, international, sports, entertainment, science, and odd news from United Press International, visit UPI.com. Follow the UPI Odd News Minute on YouTube and TikTok. How many times a day would you guess that you break wind? Be honest with us in the comments.